Welcome to the Admin Society podcast. My name is Erica Chandler, and I'm going to be your host for today's episode.
Hi, guys. I am so happy you're here. Today is the very first episode of the Admin Society podcast, and I am so excited for what I have planned for you guys. So, today we are just going to do a light introduction, and then I've got another episode I am releasing the same time where you can dive right on in and be able to get in on the active listenings. A little bit about me. My name is Erica Chandler, and I created the company, the Admin Society, because I am a professional tattoo assistant. If you don't know what that is, a tattoo assistant is somebody that actually helps and works with tattoo artists and helps them with their emails and their scheduling and possibly even their social media, helping the front desk and so on. A tattoo artist hires a tattoo assistant when they don't want to hire an apprentice to help them. So some of their responsibilities as far as an assistant and apprentice, they interlap, but the sole difference is the apprentice goes on to a tattoo eventually. The tattoo assistant doesn't. As a tattoo assistant, I am so excited to be a voice for other tattoo assistants. And I grew up in Dayton, Ohio. And as I started working, my parents drilled into me basically, Erica, you need to go to high school, graduate, get a job at a local grocery store or a corporate job or something that's very easy at the age of 16, save for a car, and then go to college, graduate college, and work up the corporate ladder. And guess what? I did that. I did that for 12 years. I ended up right before I quit my job as a human resources manager. I worked with a large corporation. I studied employee law for a living, and I helped corporations and make sure that they pretty much kept their butts clean, especially when it comes to employee law. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I worked so hard for a degree. I was in $60,000 to $80,000 worth of student debt. And once I got into that big fancy job, I spent there for 3 years and I hated it. And then COVID happened and I had a huge wake up call and made me realize that if I am not going to do this myself, if I am not going to work on my own dreams, then what is this for? And I first started off with working with MLMs. Unfortunately, I fell underneath that trap. And granted, I have learned some lessons from those MLM products. And I also tried affiliate marketing, which is a fancy word for digital marketing. And I tried it and nothing seemed to be it for me. I tried so many things and I just felt like I was a downright loser because I started over so many times and I couldn't figure out what my purpose was. And it wasn't until here in Ohio when COVID started, they shut down the state. What was intentioned supposed to be 2 weeks, quote unquote, to get ahead of the virus, but ended up being 2 or 3 months. And I'm married to a tattoo artist. So he was pretty much out of work for 3 months, which granted that was a blessing because we also have a child, which that gave him back time that he didn't get when he was an apprentice and our baby was just a baby. And so he got that time back and I was working human resources and holding us afloat until he got back. And then once Ohio opened us back up and let us actually start tattooing again, my husband basically said, "Hey, I need you to help me. I'm overwhelmed. I can't do this anymore. I need you to quit your job." And I am so thankful for that because it's a luxury that not everyone gets. And it's just an absolute blessing. And I started working with my husband on his career and on his clients. And I quickly fell in love with this industry hard. I fell in love with the art. I fell in love with tattoo artists. I fell in love with the clients and the industry as a whole. And that's when I knew that I ignited my passion right then and there. And I decided that at that time, I don't know what the hell I was going to do, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to try to figure it out. And for a while, I tried to be a tattoo assistant professionally. It didn't come easy for me. There was a lot of issues that I had to work through, personal and business. And it was a hard, time trying to get clients. And here, 3 years later, I realized that about a year ago, I continued to try to work with tattoo artists professionally. And then about a year ago, I realized, like, look, there's something flipping missing here. And then I realized that I'm looking at it from the wrong angle. I decided that my purpose and my passion was coaching and training and teaching. And I decided that I was going to create a coaching program. Everything that I knew in here, my sales scripts, my email scripts, my customer service skills, everything that helps me be me and everything that helps me think outside the box to help the clients and to help keep the ones that keep returning, I've decided that I wanted to teach other tattoo assistants. And because tattoo assistants they're not uncommon. This is not an uncommon position, but tattoo assistants essentially have been neglected. And I realized at that time that we deserve better than this. What I mean as a tattoo assistant is when I first started, and I'm sure there's plenty of other tattoo assistants out there that can vouch for this, but when I first started, my husband basically said, here's my emails, here's my scheduling. That's all I can show you, because he had so much other stuff to do. And he had other tattoos with existing clients that needed his attention. And I can't tell you how much money I cost my husband because he had no idea how to train me. I had nowhere to turn. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I was pretty much swinging a bat and hoping it hit something. And, it just wasn't working. And I realized that. And I pretty much had to teach myself the ins and outs of the business behind the scenes. Not the actual tattooing, of course, that's not something that's my profession. But with the little questions that I got or the little questions answered that I got from my husband, I pretty much had to figure it out as I went because no one knew how to help. I couldn't hire mentors because the mentors that I did hire were outside of the industry and they had no idea how to help me. So I had to fire them. And I tried I tried to develop a relationship with other tattoo business mentors, and they are the ones that have been able to help me this far. And just, of course, as an ever-growing business owner, you need mentors in order for you to advance to the next level. And at that point, I realized a lot of the downfall when it comes to effectively training employees because no one knows how to do it. And this is when I decided that I was going to use my degree, use my experience and my bachelor's degree, and create a program designed to help the office staff. Because at the end of the day, the office staff are the ones that actually run the business behind the scenes. If you've got clients that are coming in to come see you and you have a tattoo assistant, that tattoo assistant helped that client get through the door. And because we are messing with tattoo artists' bread and butter, there needs to be more extensive training to help us along the way so we don't do what I did. We don't cost our tattoo artists in the tattoo shops so much money because that's what happens when you can't train your employees because you don't know how. And what happens is sometimes it even goes to as far as having bad tattoo assistants take advantage of the situation because they can get away with it. And I'm not saying all tattoo assistants, and I'm not saying all tattoo artists, and I'm not saying everyone, but I am saying there's collectively a pattern. And being able to identify that is where it started for me. And being able to go from there. And it's been a magical experience right now here starting today, which my episode launched today, January 8th. I have a class that starts today, January 8th, of the next round of tattoo assistants that are going to be going through the motions with me as I teach them everything that I know. And this podcast is going to be about tattoo assistants and how to hire tattoo assistants and how to help tattoo artists when they can't afford a tattoo assistant, and how to provide better customer service and communicate effectively on policies and anything outside the box of tattoo assistants we're going to be talking about in this podcast. And I am so excited that you're here with me. I hope you learned with this episode. Make sure to look out for the next episode because we're going to talk about customer service. We're going in strong on this one, and we are going to talk about the things that you cannot control are the things that you need to not focus on, and your customer service skills become easy. Thank you for sitting here and thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you on the next episode.